friends, my name is Ilene, and today we're going to make a topiary tree out of a sphere ball, which this one here is about 5 inches in sphere, I think. I measured it across. You can do any size ball. I got these ones at dollar store, as well as you'll need your something for a planter. I'm using this galvanized pail. You can use a can or any plastic recycled item, or even just a regular pot. I have a dowel here as well, so I'll need my regular supplies, paint brushes, scissors. I'm also going to be using this magic coat from DecoArts, and this is to coat styrofoam, so if I want to put some paint on there, it's going to be a mixed media piece, so I'm going to have paint, tissue paper, stamped, all these kind of things. This is going to be totally nice, neat mixed media project. And you'll need some floral foam to anchor it into your pot, as well as some moss, fun crafting floral moss, just to decorate the top of your floral foam, ribbons and lace if you'd like to put that on your topiary tree, as well as any kind of greenery if you want to add a little bit with it, because I'm going to have mostly mixed media, papers and all that kind of stuff. I might have a touch of this. You might even be able to paint this with gesso and do whatever you want, so it's kind of an open things that you can do. So let's get started. First of all, I'm going to paint my styrofoam. So I'm just going to use something like a paint roll or tape roll to hold up my ball, my sphere. I'm going to use a lid. You can use actually I'll use a stick-it note. I'll use a stick-it note today, and I'm going to shake some of this up, and I'm going to stick my paint onto the stick-it note. You can use a lid. I'm just using this because it's a little smaller, and I'm going to paint the whole sphere. So then I can get good coverage, and it'll, if I decide to have paint on there, I might not have the whole piece covered with paper. I'm just planning to play with it like as if it was a journal page. So this would be like my gesso on a journal page. This is a special paint for styrofoam, so then a special base, so then everything kind of sticks to it, and we don't have to worry about any beading of any product, paint or glue or anything like that, and it not adhering. Now that my sphere is dry, I want to add some, I think I want to add some paint and splash of color, and it's all dry. And I'm still keeping it on the roll just so then it doesn't tip on me. I'm going to use some Americana paint, acrylic paint. Any acrylic paint would be fine. And I'm just going to use this red here. I'm really going towards the, this is antique rose, red and oranges, and the coral shell as well. This one is the bright orange. It might be too orange, but I can always kind of lighten it up. And I'm just going with the coral as well. And I'm just going to randomly spread it around. And I think that this is going to be a nice centerpiece for a cute party that I'm having. So I'm just going to spread the colors around just like this and have a nice bright fun tone. I'm not even worried about the mixture of the colors because it'll be all fine. Just blending it in a bit, but leaving it really nice. I want to have a nice fun look on this. You can do any kind of look you want, any color. I'm going to go with this 3 colors would be good on one of these, and something that works. You can do totally different, like teals and oranges and anything that pops, but today I feel like doing something that's a little bit blending, but it's going to be a fun piece, I think, at the end. I put my sphere to the side to dry, and I'm going to gesso my can, I think, and I'm just going to put white gesso all over my tin can and start preparing this while I'm letting the sphere dry. And then I can put my flower foam inside, get it kind of all ready for the dowel and the top of my topiary. And then I can kind of paint over this, do whatever I want to get to go with it, the whole piece. And I might keep it in the colors with the top. I think I'll kind of leave the bottom here to paint till later, so then I can kind of figure out, do I want something that's contrasting that'll pop, or do I want something that will blend well with my top? So that's something I still gotta work on and make up my decision. And there is my galvanized can pail, and I'm going to do the inside just so it won't be seen and shiny. And sorry about that. And I have a longer paintbrush here, so it hit the camera. And that'll be that. And I'll let that dry. Also going to add gesso to my dowel. And then we're ready to get to the next part. So I'll let this dry. The next thing I want to do is I'm going to pull out some decorative tissue papers. I'm choosing these two packs from Americana. They're DecoArts papers. This one I thought, well, this is kind of neat because it's got the map and everything, and it is a sphere, so maybe I'll do that a little bit here and there, and as well as I might choose a little bit of this black and silver. It's quite the contrast, but it might be just really cool. It might be really the thing I need to make it pop. So I'm going to start with these two paper packs here. So to open them, let's see. Here's one. This is what you get in the pack, and they're just really nice to handle, I think. Here's the matte piece. That's really nice. I think that would be really interesting to put some of that on there. So here are the pieces that we're going to kind of figure out what we're going to do with them and put them on. So now I have these pieces, and I'm going to Mod Podge them, or decoupage them to my sphere with DecoArts decoupage. And here's my sphere. I got the 43. That's my age and my birthday. I'm making my own birthday centerpiece. I got this part of the map here. I thought it was really neat, and I'm going to kind of put that in with it with the 43, I think, on here like this. And I got pieces of the map I tore of North America and South America, and I have my name, and I have other pieces of script here, so I'm just going to kind of place that all over, not really having a plan except for just kind of trying to make it look nice. And I'm, not sure what I'm going to add to it after. I might add more, I might not, so we'll see. So I'm just going to start adding random pieces to the sphere, map pieces and whatnot. And I have my tape roll here just in case I want to place it down, and I can do that. And I am just playing with it right now and putting it on. And this is going to be a nice, it's like a journal page, just, you pick what you want and you kind of go with it. And I'm just doing a neat, different kind of a piece. Topiary, I thought was really, really neat. And now I'll have something for decor for my party. So I'm just doing that just the same as you would do with a journal page, all around my piece. I'm still working on just Mod Podging or decoupage the strips of paper on, and I'm just kind of going random, add some color interest. And then moving it around. I'm kind of doing that with my pieces. And there we go. This is how it's looking now, and I'm just going to let that dry, and then I have to add some more pops to it and pieces and maybe some lace and all that kind of thing and make it really pretty, because it's still not looking tree-ish like yet. It's got to look more tree-like, so I think I'm going to throw some laces on. Actually, I wonder if I should just add some decoupage, some trees on now. I can, or I mean, excuse me, some lace. I think I will. So it's the same as any other project that you would be adding texture to. So just play with it and have fun and add different textures. You can add painted napkins, old napkins, and that kind of thing to it. So I'm just going to add some of this for some texture. It's going to be really nice texture. And you can just do lots of layers. And really work it, your project. And we can still add paint layers to it still, and here and there, and that kind of thing for interest. We're just building it up, like you would be building any kind of journal page. Here is my piece so far, and it's looking pretty interesting. It's got some good texture. You could also put like modeling paste and that kind of thing on there. I don't think I want to do that with this one today, but I'm going to go back with some of my leftover paint here, and I'm just going to add some paints to my lace, just because I want to. I feel like that's what I want to do, and so I'm going to add a little bit more paint. And kind of just do that, blend it everywhere. I still have the texture there, I just don't want it white. I'm going to add a little bit more coral. I really like the coral, or this, yeah, is that the coral shell. While my sphere is drying, I'm going to play with my bottom here, and I'm going to probably add my foam to it. So what I'm going to need is an X-Acto knife, one of these ones, just a kind of a bit of a craft knife kind of a thing, and I'm going to try to get this in here. And this is so easy to shape and cut. That really effortless. It's like even easier than cutting melted butter. It's just very easy. So I'm just going to shape this up and put that in there. down. It's so easy to work with. And then I'm going to work on getting the top off here. So I'm going to also put some moss in here to have a mossy bottom. It's going to look so cute. And you can twist it and then it comes off. Trim it up. And we're off. And that's that part. So we got a little bit of debris here, but it's not too bad. It's a pretty easy process. You also can get these other kind of foams for them, but it's a little harder to cut just by a little bit. And there we go. And that is done. Now, I'm not sure what we want to do for the planter. I think I am going to decoupage some script on it. So I'm going to tear my script and decoupage some of that on there. And I think that would be really cute. So let's do that. I'm still not sure on the bottom. I'm just going to kind of keep it neutral right now, and that's why I'm using this. And I'm just going to kind of decoupage it on there. You can see that's from the dollar store. I left my tag on there, but that's okay. Make something very beautiful out of it. Be a nice centerpiece for my party. It'd be also nice to make for any kind of wedding party, shower, baby shower, that kind of thing. You just follow by the theme, or if you just want to match your decor and put it in your home, just go with the theme of your colors, and it'll look nice. You could put lots of little flowers on the sphere. I'm just going to put a little bit of a cluster of flowers, and I think that'll be it for what I'm going to put on there. And just have lots of, I'm going to do some doodling on there too, and that kind of thing. Things that I would like to do on some mixed media projects. So like a journal page, I would doodle and that kind of thing. So find something that you want to play with, any kind of art pens, markers, I think even pastels, oils, paints, that kind of thing. You can doodle with paint, whatever. So I got the lower parts here, decoupage. I might do no, I think I'll just I'll do the whole thing. Sometimes you just gotta think, well, do you want to do a little bit part of it, the whole thing? It doesn't matter. And that is this part here. So I'm going to continue on. Got the decoupage onto the pail. I'm going to do some antique cream. I have here from DecoArts, and I'm going to use these three and kind of put them into my pot to do something different. So if you can see those, that's what I'm going to use. And I'm just going to add them with my fingers. I'm going to check they're open. They are. Shake them really well. Maybe I'll put a little bit on here this time. And there we go. I'm going to put a little bit of the black. Make sure I get it on my edges. and rub a little bit off. So it's kind of like rub a little bit on, rub a little bit off. That's what I'm doing with it. And I like that look. So that's what I'm doing, kind of rubbing on, rubbing it off, and now I'm just kind of going over a little bit more. I think I'll add a little bit of the rusty color here. Mix it well. I kind of like this because this is a terracotta kind of color. So I kind of like that. I like that. Now rubbing it off. There is my antiquing. I think it looks really nice. I'm going to add some glue. This is tacky glue, Ilene's tacky glue, and I'm just going to actually add quite a bit to the top here. I know it looks like a lot, but it will take too long for me to squeeze it out the way I want to squeeze it out. So what I'm going to do, this is quite a bit, and I'm just going to really smear it over, and then I'm going to add my moss, craft moss, to it. So I'm going to make sure I get it on the lip as well as all over my craft foam. That's why I put so much. I just want to make sure I have abundance and that it goes into the crevices, and then I get really good moss sticking everywhere. So there we go. My fingers are quite the mess right now. So I got my moss here, and I'm just going to kind of pull it apart. You can see that. And kind of pull it apart and start adding it to here. I'll be adding it and using a tool to stick it in a little bit. You can use any kind of paint tool. I'll use this painter's spatula. There's another name for it. Can't think of it right now. And I'm just going to stick it in. Getting into the larger size here. And it's looking so nice. You can use any kind of decorative grass. I think it's really pretty. I have my hole down the center, and I'm going to throw some hot glue on my stick and push it all the way to the bottom. And that's how it's going to look. And that is that part. I'm going to also add some more antiquing cream onto my handle afterwards. But right now I'm not going to worry about it too much. This is the part where you get a mess happening with this moss. And then here's what it looks like. It's very nice. Now this is how we have it. I hot glued the topiary tree to the dowel into the can. And I know it's kind of an odd way to see it, so I'm going to try to make the video go up a bit, the camera. That's about as high as I could probably get the camera. So it's not too blurry and you can see what I'm doing. So here it is. I got the kind of orangey peach. I'm not sure if that's too orange. I'm thinking I might tone it down a bit, but here is some different flowers I've made, handmade flowers. So I'm thinking of adding them. I think I'm going to downtone it a little bit as well. I will put a little gesso on it. And so I got some things I've chosen, some different blues and different ribbons and trims that I could add to it. And if I don't like how they look afterwards, I could also downtone them if they're too bright or whatever in the colors with gesso. So I'm just going to kind of go just like a dry brush gesso. I don't want to cover the whole thing. It's actually also going to pick up some of the nice highlights or the texture. So that's kind of cool. So I think that's going to be neat. My party cups are orange, but I'm just going to have a little bit less of the orangey coming through. I think it'll look nice. It'll still match my theme and be a little less orange, and then I could kind of blend in other colors in with it, I think. So that's how it's looking. So you could always go over something with a bit of gesso. To bring it down. And like I said, it also highlights the lace. So I like that. So right here, there's quite a bit. I might rub some off. And that's something you could do too. Spots, just kind of go over it. Now I think that's really good. And I think I should put a couple thicker spots here and there. Then I think I'm going to splash some inks or black to make it look like some inks on there. I'm going to grab a lid, just like this, any kind of lid around the house. Put a spot of black acrylic paint. I'm using DecoArts. I'm using actually a little bit over the amount I should be. Get my paint wet here. I'm going to splash a little bit of black on there. I need to add a little bit more water. Then I can't forget about the top. Just carefully go through. Add some kind of, I don't know, something I like. Now I'm going to add some orange flicker to it with metallic lusters. And just to get a nice metallic feel. And I do like the orange, but just throughout. I'm not going to cover the whole thing. I'm just going to try to get it wherever it wants to go. But it'll have that nice sheen of metallic in there, and I love metallic in almost everything. So that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to start gluing some flowers on, I think. Now I do have quite a bit of orange flicker. on there. I like it. It's looking really nice. And now I'm going to just put a ribbon down my topiaries here. So I'm putting a little bit of hot glue to hold the end of my ribbon. And I'm just going to go around in a circle to wrap the ribbon around. And then I'm going to hot glue the very bottom. Here is my ribbon trim all on there. I got two different types. So then I painted some metallic on the other ribbon there because it was white and white pearls on it over top of the first one I was doing. And now I think I'm ready to throw on some beautiful flowers. I'm going to put on some of these knitted doily flowers. And one's a butterfly actually and one's a flower, as kind of just to put it down as backdrop. And I'm just going to start putting some flowers. I might have to adjust, so I might have to change some colors up. But I think that's going to look really, really neat. I'm actually going to put one of these threads right across here. Actually, it's a ribbon. It's a crocheted or knitted ribbon. And it'll come down like this. And if you don't like something, you could just move it around. I'm actually going to move this flower with this butterfly. I'm using quite high temp, so it takes a while to cool off to harden on there. But that's kind of how it's going. It's making a bit of a nice background piece. I know it's kind of cluttery around here with all the stuff, that embellishments and things I have around. You kind of got to look and pick and choose what you need at the moment. So I have a few things out. And I have to put my hot glue then in. But it's good to have kind of a few things out to decide what you want. So I think I'm going to put this little flower up. Next, and then I have this beautiful red one. I got some splashes on it, but it looks really nice anyway, so I might put that one right here. This is another handmade one. I dyed this one with some ink sprays and that kind of thing. So I like to kind of do a little cluster of flowers and things, and then kind of have, that's my main piece. I could have multicolor, I could leave a multicolor. You don't have to blend them all in and make them all one kind of color. So sometimes we do that for mixed media, sometimes we just leave them kind of multicolored. That's pretty. I also have some pieces of material you can throw on, any kind of pieces of material if you want. Don't think I'll be using that one today. I like this piece of wool. So I might be putting that one up in here. And perhaps a few little black flowers. So I have side cutters here, just prepared to cut what I need and that kind of thing. So just not quite pulling everything out apart yet, but doing it as I need them. So, and also I'm going to be putting some moss in around here as well to blend it all in. And this is basically the project, friends. Just pick a nice little cluster of what you want to do, and there you go. And you can make it all kind of go together in a neat, interesting way. You can move things around. And I like this purple butterfly, and it's quite a different color, so I'm going to throw it right on top of my flower here. but I'll probably arrange it. And if you do want to change something and you have already, the glue has already cooled, then you can always use the heat tool on it so you don't rip anything to reposition something just a little bit. Now, I'm thinking I'm going to add my other flower to the lower piece here, or upper, and it's just kind of playing with it, friends. This is what I have left, and I think I'm going to do a few more pieces. Of course, I want to put my 43 on there. I'm going to put my name on there. This is it. I put some fern around my handle here, and this is how it's looking. I also added orange fleck out down here, and this is it. Put some of the moss on, and I'm not changing the colors of the pieces. In fact, I really like them like that. So I'm also going to ink this up with archival ink, just because I really like to add some archival ink. And this is what makes it all mixed media, guys. It's like, you know, the paint, the paper, the texture, the the material that you're using. I also added a little jewel up here. It's actually a handle jewel piece from Michael's in the $1.50 bin, and I added that. See what it looks like? I just put some hot glue. I made a hole with my scissors, put some hot glue, and it's a drawer pull, and there it is, a nice accessory, cute little, and this one's green. I thought that topped it off. Put a little pin, decorative pin in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some, one of my favorite stamps is this number stamp. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to add this all over. And that's just what makes it so much fun. It doesn't have to be just all flowery and perfect. It can be just pretty and spontaneous and spunky. And that makes the project so fun. And it goes in with the splattered paint that I have a little bit showing. I did cover some of it, but you put layers on, you cover. It's a surprise, and to see what kind of pops out of that. And it's just so fun. So that's what I'm doing here. Is just putting one of my favorite. I just love this one. Number stamp. And just trying to get it. It's kind of a interesting project. You've got to kind of have it, just right to get it to sit. And now the flowers are heavy, so it wants to go down. And now we got to figure out where I'm going to put my 43. So it could put it on the can, and I think I will. I'll put it on the can. I could put it up on the flower or on the sphere itself, but I'm going to put it on the can. And this is again decoupage from DecoArts. And then I could throw in some metallics to blend this in with the can if I wanted to. And then I have a centerpiece for my party, and both sides are decorated. And I can go on more with stuff too, but I kind of like to have that little cluster deal happening, so I like that. And I'm going to move my 4 a little bit over. These papers are really nice, and they are sturdy enough where you can, just a little thicker than tissue paper, but they are still tissue, but you can move them around a bit if you just want to move something around. Just like that. And I'm going to put my name on there. And decoupage that on there. My fingers are really a mess, but this is actually, I'm going to do that on the sphere. for a little bit of something back here. And then all around it's going to be just beautiful. And I think I'm going to leave it at that, guys. But you guys could do as much or as little to your spheres and just totally decorate them up and enjoy them. And that is my mixed media topiary tree. And you can do it for any party. It'll be just great. It'll be the talk of the party, the centerpiece for sure. And there we go. I hope you guys all like this project. I will show some pictures afterwards to show this lovely project in detail. It's kind of hard to see amongst everything here. But here we go. And this is almost already dry, so I'm going to add a little bit of flecca to it, just to blend it in a little bit with the other stuff that's around. The orange flecca from DecoArts, metallic lusters. And I love it. And there we go. Here it is. So it'll just be a nice memory, nice centerpiece for my birthday party. Hope you guys all like this project. And yeah, don't forget to craft like a duck. Talk to you guys later.